All right, yeah, so it looks like the case against cheaters just got cracked wide open. Yesterday, I made the argument on 2K's behalf that it may prove to be way more difficult to identify cheaters, considering that a good majority of the player base is shooting at high percentages. After the information that Mike Wang just revealed, it changes damn near everything. And it begs the question, is 2K letting this happen? Are cheaters intentionally running rampant on NBA 2K26? We finna get into all the details. If any of you guys are new here, consider dropping a like and a sub. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's get to the video. Hey, what's good, y'all? I'm AllCity. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in. Now, in previous versions of 2K on next-gen consoles, we haven't really had issues with cheaters up until NBA 2K26. Surely there were cheaters in the game, but 2K seemed to have a better handle on cheating than they do in the current version of 2K. Well, what has changed from those previous versions up until now? A big part of what has changed is 2K offered players a pure green window, allowing players to hit at higher shooting percentages. Prior to NBA 2K26, your shooting was handicapped by 2K's algorithm and RNG incorporated into shooting. This is why a lot of players would miss wide open shots, even if they timed their shot correctly. It was obvious that 2K was intentionally capping shooting percentages. And if an individual player was extremely exceeding the shooting percentages of the good majority of the 2K player base, 2K was able to easily identify those particular players that set themselves aside from the good majority of the player base and identify the cheaters on the game. Or at the very least, if one particular player is shooting way higher percentages than the rest of the player base, at least 2K had a lead on those that were assumed to be cheating. For NBA 2K26, a lot of y'all let me know if y'all disagree with this, but a lot of y'all would assume that players are shooting at way higher shooting percentages than they did in previous versions of 2K. At least those 2Ks that were released on next-gen consoles. In other words, shooting does seem easier on 26 than it did on 25. I think we could all agree on that. In fact, a lot of players feel like shooting is just way too easy. Well, Mike Wang recently shared your shooting percentages, the average shooting percentages for players on NBA 2K26 in each of the online game modes. And I have a feeling that you guys are going to be shocked at the results. It all started with this Reddit post titled, "I'm going to say it, shooting is too easy," with an exclamation point. It says everybody feels like they're Stephen Curry now, and because of that, there is no ball movement because everybody can score and shoot from three so easy. In most of my games, the PG and shooting guards shoot 15 plus shots while the team is shooting somewhere between 3 and 5, especially in random rec. That makes people grab the ball and try to shoot over 3 defenders because they won't have any other chance to shoot. 2K needs to find a way to incentivize ball movement somehow. And he goes on to say that this is probably all gonna get worse as more players on 2K26 unlock more cap breakers. Now, in regards to this post, I feel like he makes a good point. I'm a point guard myself, a red plate, averaging 30 plus points a game, and I shoot around 64 to 65% from 3. Trust and believe those numbers are drastically different than my PG experience on NBA 2K25, so I can confirm personally that shooting does seem way easier on 26. But to this man's point, I'm a point guard that actually likes to dot my teammates. I feel like my teammates are an extension of myself at the point guard position, so when they score, I feel like I'm the one who scored. I average somewhat about 10 assists per game, but I still feel like the gameplay is designed for the PG to score. And I could very well be wrong about that, but it does lead me to taking way more shots than my teammates do. Before we move on, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts about the PGs that you've been running with. Do you feel like they pass the ball to you enough? Sound off, share your thoughts in the comment section. Let's move on to the next post. Responding to the previous post I just shared to you, he says, "That's your hot take. It's been the #1 most talked about take since the game came out. For reference, only a very small amount of NBA players can shoot over 40% from 3 consistently, yet most games have multiple people making 80% or more." And he goes on to say, "Until 3-point shooting gets under 50% for the masses, this game will continue to be butt cheeks. There's literally no reason or incentive to be an inside big or not jack up threes all the time. Giving up an easy layup is sadly considered a win every time up the court because it's only 2 points. And this is facts. A lot of players on NBA 2K26 believe if you take a 2-pointer, that's an L. You should be 3-hunting every single possession." But I'll continue on. He says, "I mean, I get yelled at for making a wide open dunk instead of passing it to the guarded 7'4" dude at the 3-point line. And he goes on to say, speaking of layups, a 3-pointer shouldn't be easier than a layup. And I showed you guys the clip yesterday of a game it was like the last few seconds of the game. I think 7 seconds left. The dude just had a wide open layup. He had the meter. He was well within the meter, and 2K made him miss it. He got the ball back he recovered his own rebound, got the ball back, went up again, and missed the layup wide open yet again. He goes on to say it's easier than a mid-range. Hell, some people make it more consistently than dunks. And he wraps up this post saying 3-point shooting accuracy is the #1 problem with the game. This game will continue to be unbalanced until that aspect of the game is nerfed. Now, the overall sentiment of these last 2 posts is that shooting is just way too easy. And I'm curious to know how many of you guys feel like shooting is way too easy on NBA 2K26 as well. Sound off, share your thoughts in the comments. I'm sure you guys remember that in the first post, the guy mentioned up until NBA 2K brings shooting percentages down below 50%, we will basically not see balancing in the game. Every player will be out there hunting threes. Well, Mike Wang ended up responding to this dialogue between these 2 particular players, sharing the shooting percentages for the entire 2K community in all the different online game modes. And these are the numbers that Mike Wang sees on his end. He says, in case you were curious, here are the community-wide 3-point percentage averages for season 2. In the rec center, players are shooting on average 44.5%. In the Pro-Am and Proving Grounds, players are shooting well below that at 36.12%. In the Park, players are shooting 45.5%. And in the Ante-Up, players are only shooting 36.82%. Now on NBA 2K26, I'm personally a red plate, but I play with our Discord community, and the players that I normally run with are anywhere, because I'm mostly picking up damn near anybody who will join our party to get some runs in the rec. I normally run with players anywhere from black to gold plates. Very few players seem to make it to red and hold that red plate. Another factor to add to this equation is that a lot of players on NBA 2K26 consistently make new builds, so they have more black plates in their lineup. Whereas me personally, I only have 2 builds. I primarily play on my point guard build, the first build that I made. I haven't played on since week 1 of NBA 2K26. So it's probably easier for me personally to maintain and hold on to that red plate. The whole reason why I'm even mentioning this in the first place is primarily based in skill-based matchmaking, and how it's like 2 different worlds when you're playing with and against red plates and their shooting percentages versus the shooting percentages that you guys would see playing with and against players that are anywhere from a black to a gold plate. So when I go out there on the court, I'm seeing numbers that are more closely aligned to the shooting percentages that Mike Wang just presented. The fact for me is that it's on rare occasion where I see any one of my opponents shooting somewhere around 70%. And more times than not, most players seem to be around 40-something%. But that's exactly where the kicker is. If I personally go out there and I see shooting percentages from players average around 40-some%, and Mike Wang on his side of things also sees players averaging around the same percentage, then why can't Mike Wang get an easy lead on those players who are cheating, just like they did in previous versions of 2K? You think players are paying $100 plus for a cheating device and paying a subscription for a script $10 to $15 a month to go out there and lose and shoot 40-something%? Hell nah, them players are going to be well into the 80 and 90 shooting percentages, which should in turn make them easily identifiable to 2K as cheaters. And I'm not attempting to say that every single player that shoots 80 to 90% should be labeled a cheater, but it should definitely help 2K get a lead on someone who's cheating, especially when those players have double the shooting average of everyday players. I can't help but think that cheaters running rampant on NBA 2K26 is intentional. For what reason, I have no idea, but why can't 2K fix this and eliminate cheaters from the game when they have analytics that can help guide them towards players who may be cheating? Like I had mentioned a second ago, with skill-based matchmaking, it creates like 2 different worlds for 2K players. You'll see different type of gameplay taking place. If you're playing with and against red plays consistently, it's a full-on sweat fest. And if you're playing with casuals, oftentimes you won't even see the team go out there with a lockdown defender. What I'm saying here is that some of you guys may not even know what a cheater looks like, or why people assume that this particular type of player is cheating, and is mainly based in their shot selection. So we're gonna look at this clip I just saw in the good homie Brutal Sims' most recent video. You guys could go check out that full video. It's on his channel. He just uploaded it. I'll share just a snippet to show you guys exactly what cheating looks like on NBA 2K26. You guys take a look at the shot selection and let me know if you think that you would be able to make those same shots against that same type of defense. You guys will be looking at former NBA 2K League player Fana going up against somebody who him and his team say is cheating.
That was about leaving him corner though, game.
I know he cracked my shit off the one step because he had you beat though, Bias.
All right,
Jump. He's a damn near a cheater, gang.
go. I got 10 middle, baby.
I'm pro.
Oh my god.
Watch your same side, same side.
Get it.
It's good, bro.
Now, how many of you guys watching will label that player a cheater, and how many of you think that you would be able to hit those same type of shots against that same type of defense? Remember, that's a former NBA 2K League player, and I'm sure he's playing with very good players as well, so their defense should be up to par in order to contain that type of offense, but it just wasn't. And to wrap up this video, I want to share some thoughts from IQ Contained. In case you guys haven't seen this, let's check out what he had to say.
This is hopefully the only video that I want to make about this when it relates to the current state of the game, because clearly it's just going to keep getting worse by the day. But I'm just going to lay the scene real quick. So I'm at 96% to Veteran 1. I play the game every like 3-4 days right now. Like I barely play the game because it's just the cheating is just that bad. It's unavoidable. I probably played about 15 to 16 twos games in the park today, or tonight specifically, and I think in those 15 to 16 games, I played against 13 to 14 cheaters. Some of them with a 90 plus 3-point percentage, some of them with an 85 plus 3-point percentage, whatever it is. It's a 6'8", and then an inside center, sitting dead zone, just letting the cheater dex back and forth to shoot a no-dip tempo shot for them to go 7 for 7, 7 for 8, green every single yellow, and for me to have to find a new court. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand. Why was 3 in the key taken out of the game? Why are these cheaters able to run around and do their thing and cheat in the wide open with no consequence? The report button on 2K... Bro, there's just so many things. I swear the report button on this game is just there for show. I understand it's a software thing. I understand it's not something that 2K can check within their database because there's so much that goes into it. But it's so obvious, man. There's so many people that are cheating and it's getting worse by the day. And it's mainly because of tempo shooting. People are paying $5, $10, $15 a month to cheat offline gaming. How do you guys have fun doing that? Actually, if I cheated on this game, I wouldn't play it. There's just no enjoyability in that. That's a whole different conversation. But I'm forced to play in the park because of my high plate. I'm on a red plate because of skill-based matchmaking. I can't resort to going to play theater matchmaking to avoid the cheaters potentially because I don't get games unless I play against another red plate. And I'm going to wait 10 to 15 minutes in between games, so that's not reliable for rep. I can't go to Proving Grounds because of the same issue. I literally was just playing theater ones against sweats as a red plate just to try and get some rep because I don't got teammates on, it's super late at night, and I don't want to play cheaters in the park. So 2K, I want to ask you a serious question. Are we actually going to do something about these people that are blatantly cheating? Is something being done behind the scenes? If you need me to provide some proof to help out, to give some insight, I will gladly do it because what I'm watching go down, it's just unacceptable. It's insane. And I don't care how you feel about it. If you cheat on this game, please stay far away from me. I do not want anything to do with you.
If you guys are tired of running with randoms and you're looking for players to run with on NBA 2K, come on out and join the AllCity 2K Discord. The link will be in the description below. Find players and get runs now. Drop a like and drop a sub on your way out. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Easy, y'all.